Jan in, I don't know where that stands for.
Newcastle.
I'm sorry?
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
Awesome. Okay. It
Yes,
says you want to talk about the impossibility of picking a philosophy or religion?
Yes, the impossibility of, because I always say when they ask me, are you a Christian or not? I say, well, I'm not qualified to pick a religion. I have no understanding about religion, so it's impossible for me to make a fair assessment of any religion to pick one, or philosophy, in a sense. I mean, what qualifications what qualifications do I have to know the difference between even, let's say, a Presbyterian and a Methodist? And why would I choose one over the other? What would be my basis of rational thought if I were a Christian to pick one? Or an Anabaptist versus a Baptist, Catholic versus Gnostic, whatever religious philosophies that are out there. How do I determine even, what God is? I mean, if I determine I am a theist, what determines which God is right? Is Zeus? Is Apollo? Are any of the gods that have been defined outside my realm of reasonable responsibility to actually be able to evaluate and pick one? I mean,
well, that's
who has that power?
That's easy. Just don't pick any. I don't need a religion of any kind. I don't need a God. I don't need a religion. I don't need any kind of a deity telling me what to do. When I look at all the claims of all the religions and even the subset you mentioned denominations of the Christian religion, I look at all of them and I say, no, I don't see evidence for anything you're saying.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Are you from a religion? Were you born into a religion?
Well, I was born a Catholic, so that makes me kind of
okay. I am
that way. But
I'm so happy for you, and I feel for you that you're asking this question, because this is a really hard point in time for you. I'm assuming. I'm sorry. I feel for you if this is difficult. I've come to that point in my journey as well, and that's why I've let go of the concept that I have to, because why I actually came to that point where I was like, okay, well, I don't really know what religion I am, because I considered myself agnostic at the time, and then I was like, well, let me look into, do I believe in a God first, and then I can try to pick a religion, right? And then I started listening to debates and things, and I was like, well, I don't have any reason to believe in a God, so I don't have any reason to pick a religion. Why don't I just let go? Why do I need to pick a philosophy or religion? Why do I? So you're asking the exact same questions that I'm asking. I don't know why. I can't tell you to, because I don't.
Well, I don't say that. I'll say to people, I'm a social Catholic, a moral Baptist, and a spiritual Buddhist.
Interesting. That sounds interesting.
So do you identify as a Christian now, Jan?
No, I don't. I identify as a philosophical, I would say a Wittgenstein, logical positivist.
So how did you pick that?
I mean, logical positivism it's not atheistic or it's not theist. The only reason people disagree is because they haven't defined their terms sufficiently to one another. I find this interesting, your program, the Atheist Experience, because most of the time you spend your time trying to figure out what terms do you believe in, and where you can come to logical truth through definition. You say, well, what do you think God is? And then you go, well, what is your philosophy, or what is your determining
what do you believe
assumption?
And why? Mm-hmm.
So it all comes down to logical positivism in a sense. So you're trying to get everyone to define terms that everyone can agree on, and then have a logical conclusion.
Well, we're trying to define terms so that we make sure that we're actually saying the same thing, so that you're not asking me a question and then I assume that you mean something else with the term that you're using and then answer incorrectly. That's the only reason we get so nitpicky about terms, is to make sure that we're actually on the same page.
Well, that's the whole point of logical positivism. It's not that that we all really agree if we can get our terms defined properly.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Interesting.
Logical positivism, I'm not sure exactly what that is. Atheism, when I refer to myself as an atheist, that's just a term I used in response to the theist claim. It's not a position in life that I try to adopt or anything. If I'm going to adopt a position, it's going to be I'm a humanist. I just believe in the goodness of humanity. But atheist simply is my response to the claim that there's a God. And my response to that is I don't see evidence for it, so I don't believe that there is. That's all that is. You can be a positivism, whatever that was you said you were, and still be an atheist in response to the theist claim. You see what I mean?
Well, I'm saying if you get your definitions correct between atheists and theists, they're actually saying the same thing if they define terms properly.
I think that's a stretch.
You're saying that atheists and theists are saying the same thing if we get our definitions correct? Is that what you just said?
Well, it has to come down to logical terms and assumptions, and once they're agreed upon, you can only come to the same conclusions.
So wait, so when I say I don't believe that there are any gods, and then a theist calls in and says, yes, there is, and it's this one, you're saying that we're saying the exact same thing?
Well, no, what you're saying is you have not agreed upon your terms for your positions.
So regardless of the term, what is it that I believe in as far as gods are concerned? And that's just using the word God is just a placeholder in this moment. Why do I believe in any God? You're saying that I do, or are you saying that they actually don't?
Is he there, Jan?
Oh no, we lost him.
Okay.
Darn it. I hope that was an honest drop.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. That's just so much nonsense that we believe the same thing. We just have to get our terminology correct. No, we don't.
Maybe putting it in
the person who says I believe in Jesus Christ as my savior, and I say I don't believe that's anywhere close to true. We're not saying the same thing. I'm sorry. Don't try to make us say we are.
Yeah, I don't know how something can be X and not X at the same time, just because we're calling X something different.
That was just some gobbledygook terminology stuff there. I'm sorry.